Glendale, Arizona is a charming old town that's gone to great lengths to preserve its history.
Vanessa, did you know American Idol winner Jordan Sparks is from Glendale?
Yeah.
Did you know country singer Marty Robbins was from Glendale, Arizona?
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, he was.
Well, Jordan and Marty became famous, and they left to find fame and fortune. But today we're here at an Arizona legacy that has been in business for 60 years, right here in Glendale.
Well, right here in Glendale, but known through generations of families across the valley. We can only be talking about Sanderson Ford.
I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
And I'm J.R. Cardenas. Welcome to a Cox 7 special, Sanderson Ford, a family tradition for 60 years. Vanessa, how many companies can say that they've been doing business at the same location for 60 years? That list is very short.
Well, they must be doing something right to stay in business that long, and throughout the years they've won many awards, actually too many to mention. But it's all because of Don Sanderson's philosophy of treating customers right, which has kept families coming back here to Sanderson Ford for 6 decades.
Well, you know, I happened to be thinking the other day, when did I first become acquainted with Sanderson Ford? Well, I guess, David, you were in high school. I was an upcoming disc jockey, one of the Crux good guys, and I recall we used to get our cars from Sanderson Ford. Who would have thought at that time that 60 years have passed by and Sanderson Ford is still locally owned, locally committed. It's been an amazing ride, hasn't it?
It has been incredible, Al. You know, when you think back of all the memories, we've been blessed to be here since 1955. Mr. Sanderson started this store right out of being in the Army, selling Army surplus and so on. We're very proud of the heritage.
The dealership is now, it was a pasture, it was a cow pasture. He kept buying property, and now he has 65 acres. So it's a big land development that we thought at the time, why are you buying all this property? But now it's the best thing he ever did.
We got all of our vehicles, our newest vehicles and everything else in Sanderson Ford. So I used to have the opportunity to stop in, see some of their people, visit with some of their people. And David, just out of high school, was just having fun driving cars around the lot.
You know, all my kids, 6 kids work here. I've got 12 grandchildren that are hopefully going to be able to come back and do some things here. So
well, it's truly the Sanderson family, no question about it. I just have one request, that this goes on for at least another 60 years. And when that comes along, I want to have a big cake with all those candles, and I want to be there to help blow them out. How about that?
I'll tell you what, Al, if you're still broadcasting in another 60 years, I'll be there with you.
Okay.
A lot of people collect things, but you won't believe the collection we're about to share with you when Sanderson Ford, a family tradition for 60 years, continues right after this.
Para mí es una familia, todos son muy unidos, todos nos comunicamos, todos somos una familia. Yo me cuento como, soy un empleado, pero a la vez me siento orgulloso de estar con ellos.
I feel like a kid in a candy store, Vanessa.
Isn't it amazing? It's like taking a trip back in time. In a building located not too far from the showroom is this incredible museum.
It's a collection of stunning cars, vintage signs, and automobile-inspired memorabilia, all lovingly curated by a family whose roots reach back almost to the golden age of the automobile.
Wow, that's impressive.
Don Sanderson started this business in 1955. And most dealerships today are conglomerates. They have nothing to show for their tenure in the business. And so this museum is kind of a bit of Americana, Sanderson Ford, and the industry in general. When we started this place, it was just a neat idea, and then my wife took over. And so all the things in there, my wife Sue has collected. There wasn't one thing hung in this building that she didn't say, no, I want it there. She hung everything, had everything done. It's unbelievable. And of course, we collected stuff from all over the country.
She literally came in here. This was an empty warehouse, just an ugly old building. She came in here with all her picture books of what a diner would look like, what a mercantile store would look like, and she sat here with card tables laid out, and then she said, I've got an idea for what that could be. It's called the Sanderson Village and Museum. She knew where the windows were going to be. She knew where the lights were going to hang. She's got a great gift of visualizing things before they're put together. The diner, the store, the kitchen, all that stuff was all designed by Sue.
After the war, Mr. and Mrs. Sanderson would buy Army surplus, and they would drive from San Francisco to here where they got the vehicles and resell them. And right after that, he bought this car. This is a 1930. And you know, it's really special because we had it for many years. And I left for a little bit to go in the service, and he sold it. Years later, the car was sold to a gentleman in California. He calls our general sales manager, Neil Schrock, and says, I'm finished with this car. The only place it should be is back at Sanderson Ford. At our 50th anniversary party, on the stage, they have this car. They presented it to us, and Mrs. Sanderson was alive then, and she was part of this car because at the State Fair, the first year we were in business, she had this car and a Thunderbird, and so it really has a lot of historic meaning to us.
Now, all these vehicles are restored, so they're really in mint condition.
A lot of history here.
A lot of history here in this museum at Sanderson Ford, that's for sure.
Well, Jared, if the museum made you feel like a kid in the candy store, what does this make you feel like?
Vanessa, get a whiff of that new car scent. There's nothing like it. I'll take the Focus. Yeah, the Fusion looks good.
All right, Jared, just don't choose the Mustang because that baby's mine. While Jared decides what his next car will be, let me tell you about a very special sale here at Sanderson Ford. If you're in the market for a new ride, you won't want to miss this.
Sanderson Ford's obviously been here 60 years. Starting May 1st, we are going to celebrate and try to break all sales records.
That number, that directive that's been given to us is big, and we have the inventory to support it. Speaking of inventory, we have over 1,000 vehicles on the ground ready for immediate delivery. On the cusp of arriving, we have another couple hundred coming in, so we are absolutely prepared for our 60th anniversary.
We have 65 acres. On that, we have over 1,000 vehicles. So all available, easy to get to, spread out. We're a non-confrontational, easy place to buy a car. Most people that buy here come back and buy another one because how we treat people.
The nice thing about this sale is we don't have just one advertised. We're going to have 20 at this price, 30 at this price.
We've been in contact with Ford, geared up our inventory to be able to sustain this car sale objective we've set up. And so we are going to have huge discounts, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, which will be the Sanderson discount. On top of that, all Ford incentives will be applied as well.
When you combine the Sanderson discount with the availability of the Ford rebates, they can be discounted as much as $11,000. Well, we like to call it the 50-60. We have a 60-year anniversary with 50-inch smart TVs available to all of our customers with the purchase of any new vehicle.
On top of the TV when you purchase, if you just come by to see Sanderson, see what the 65 acres looks like, we're going to give you a pair of Diamondback tickets for just coming over to Sanderson.
We are known for both the F-150 and our Super Duty segment.
Our truck service shop has the ability to put on lifts and bodies, so all done in-house here at Sanderson.
We have one of the largest parts department in the nation. We sell more parts wholesale than a lot of dealerships sell, retail. What that means to the customer is that they can come in here and get their vehicle serviced, and there's a very good chance we're going to have that part to fix it that day. We don't have to run after it.
we are pulling out all stops to break our all-time record. But this one commemorates 60 years of a once-in-a-lifetime event.
We are ready. We've been gearing up for this for the last 3 months, and what you're going to really like is when you come in and find out just how easy it is to do business with Sanderson Ford. You combine that with the incentives, the discounts, the inventory, the friendly sales staff. Now is the time.
D-backs tickets just for taking a test drive? Give me a shout out the next time you're at the game. So you've heard of the Sanderson difference, but what exactly does that mean? We'll tell you coming up next.
It really is a family environment at Sanderson. All the employees know each other and stuff, and you know, a lot of people, I've been there for 16 years and I'm kind of a newbie there. There's a lot of people that have been there for 30, 40, 50 years, so a lot of people have really grown up there, and it's a great family experience.
I'm J.R. Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez. Welcome back to a Cox 7 special, Sanderson Ford, a family tradition for 60 years. You've heard the phrase, the Sanderson difference, but what exactly does that mean? Is it the unbeatable prices, the terrific selection, the excellent customer service?
While you'll experience all those things at Sanderson Ford, the Sanderson difference is all about people.
Mm-hmm.
Don Sanderson knew it was his employees who made the difference.
The Sanderson difference, we call it the Sanderson way. There's certain things that we do, they're not magic. It's just being honest and straightforward and taking care of our employees like we need to take care of our customers. If our employees are happy, our customers will be happy and be served well. It's very important how we take care of our people.
The Sanderson difference to me means the impact that they make in people's lives. They truly believe in family, and it's a family operation, so you really feel like you're part of the family when you go there. When you associate yourself with somebody like that, it's always a win-win for everybody. Not just you being able to give back, but the people that it impacts every single day.
It's a privilege to act as a spokesman for Sanderson Ford for many reasons. For they're a vital part of the community, for the fact that they continue to be locally owned with local people serving the way that you like to see organizations serve one another and the entire community. It's a privilege.
My grandfather started this company with about 20 employees, and he went around and spoke to every single employee every single day. And now we have over 500 employees at many different locations, not just the 2 dealerships, but other parts buildings and things like that. And my dad still gets around. He knows almost all of his employees if they've been here any amount of time. We treat our employees really well, because if you have happy employees, you're going to have happy customers. And we are the dealership that's service built, and we really do pride ourselves on service.
I think for us, it's carrying on that tradition of 60 years that my grandfather started, of taking care of the product and taking care of the customer. I think my dad says it really well, that it's all about relationships. So not only the relationship that Sanderson has with Ford and with Lincoln, but also the relationship that my family has with the employees, and then that the employees and we all have with our customers and with our community as well.
When you talk about our employees, which are a very valued part of our family, and that's why we have so many employees that have longevities with us, employees that have been currently employees that have worked at Sanderson for over 40 years. And as the tight-knit family allows them to be a part of something that's more than just a car dealership. It's more than just some place to work. It's something that they can be proud of. As we, as the grandkids, will carry on the future of Sanderson another 60 years from now, this is going to be the fundamental mission that will carry us on.
Sanderson Ford takes great pride in being a family-owned business. Recently, they lost a treasured and much-loved member of that family. Longtime family friend Al McCoy has this remembrance.
Sue was special. My wife and I always considered it such a treat to spend some time with Sue. She was such a compassionate person and had such a great enthusiasm for life. Now, we all knew the great things that she'd accomplished and what she'd given back to our community. She was so aware of business. She was so aware of everything that went on. And, of course, we know her pride and joy was that Sanderson Ford Museum, and what a wonderful start she gave it and continued on through all her lifetime. And I don't want to forget the diner. Always loved the diner, and Sue loved that also. You know, she just had such a great feeling for life, and when you had an opportunity to visit with Sue, it was always about you, never about her. It was always, how's your family doing? How are you feeling? She was special. And she was a great sports fan. Now, I don't mean just a sports fan. Sue was a knowledgeable fan. And she loved all the teams, the Suns, the Coyotes, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals, ASU, and she knew a great deal about them. She had her favorite players, too. Oh, Jeff Hornacek when he was playing with the Suns. She loved Steve Nash, of course, the Coyotes, Shane Doan, and, of course, Gonzo, Luis Gonzalez with the Diamondbacks. She and her mother came to practically all of our Suns games, and whenever I chatted with Sue later, she had questions about why did the Suns do this or that. Well, she was special. And you know, somehow, I have a very strong feeling that right now, heaven might be a little bit better place because Sue's there. Sue was special.
Now, throughout the show, we showed you just how much of a unique experience it is to buy a car here at Sanderson Ford.
That's right, Jared. And just to prove a point, how many dealerships have their own diner? David and Sue Kimberly purchased a Starliner diner back in 2007, but not just for Sanderson Ford customers or employees, but for everyone in the Glendale area.
Well, that's because Sanderson Ford has always been community-minded. By the way, you don't have to buy a car to enjoy a great burger. Can I get some ketchup?
Operation Santa Claus is something that Sanderson Ford has been behind for a long time, and as a group, all of our radio stations, including KFYI, we're so happy to get on board because it supports local people, and it covers a full gamut from the Hungry with St. Mary's Food Bank and Ronald McDonald House and SARC, the Southwest Autism Center, and of course, Military Assistance Mission, and it's all local families, so it really fit what I love to do because we talk so much about local things in Arizona, and they are just such a great local supporting business.
Through the fundraising that they have created and sponsored, we have been able to create and grow different services and programs for the last 10 years that we couldn't have created without them and their help. They continue to help fund the scholarships and the programs for the families that can't afford the services, but they've also, they hire our adults on the spectrum at Sanderson Ford to give them employment services. They just have helped in every way we've asked them to. They have found a way to help.
Sanderson Ford partners with the Diamondbacks, and because of that partnership, they have taken us under their wing also. So the Diamondbacks are actually helping to support us. They're giving us tickets throughout the season so that we can give them to our service members, and they ask us, for help for Military Appreciation Night to help fill the seats with service members so that he can actually acknowledge them. So it's a wonderful partnership with both of those organizations.
We so appreciate when organizations like Sanderson Ford, they get it, they're great corporate citizens, and they realize that their responsibility is to give back to the nonprofit sector, and they are just such a wonderful corporate citizen, and we in turn hope that being a wonderful citizen and donating to nonprofits also helps them. We certainly hope that what they do for us comes back to them in just multiplied.
It continues to grow. They are the #1 Ford dealership in the country, and they pride themselves on no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. It's a great buying experience. What I've seen with Sanderson Ford is continuously, year after year, them giving back to the community, sponsoring so many great charitable events, and they give back to the community, and that's what I love about Sanderson Ford. And they're proud sponsors of a lot of the local teams. So I like that part about it, and I love going to a game, whether it's a Diamondback game or a Coyote game, and seeing the military honored by Sanderson Ford, tickets to the games from Sanderson Ford. I love that they give back to this community.
Whether it's St. Mary's Food Bank or the Military Assistance Mission or Phoenix Children's Hospital or some of the other organizations they work with, it seems like Sanderson Ford is always doing something for someone. And St. Mary's Food Bank is proud to be part of Operation Santa Claus. The food and funds that we receive during November and December during that drive not only take care of us during the holiday season, but push us into the next year. It gives us a head start into those months when people aren't necessarily thinking of donating food and funds to the food bank. So not only are we able to distribute at Thanksgiving, are we able to distribute around Christmas time, but we're able to do January, February, and March because of the extra food and funds that are brought in through Operation Santa Claus and that relationship with Sanderson Ford.
We would consider Sanderson Ford more than anything else to be a partner with SARC. We know that they've been unbelievably supportive of our events, of our programs, and even of our clients or adults with autism as well. And we also hope that we're on the same hand giving back to Sanderson. Through our Operation Santa Claus event, we're not only serving people with autism, but also now giving away, giving back to our community, and Sanderson makes all of that possible.
Dave, Kimberly, the family, Max, Sanderson Ford, happy 60th anniversary. And on behalf of SARC and all the families and all the staff and all the community that you have helped wonderfully, generously for 60 years, I wish you another 60 happy years. We love you and we thank you.
We'd like to congratulate Sanderson Ford for their 60th year anniversary. It is truly our honor and our privilege to be partnered with not only a great organization, but an organization that has such wonderful people. Congratulations.
To all our friends at Sanderson, we wish you a very happy 60-year anniversary. We hope for 60 more years and maybe 60 more after that. We appreciate so much for what you do for our community and that you're such a great partner for us here at Ronald McDonald House. Thank you and congratulations on 60 great years.
Happy anniversary, guys. Many more years of success. Thank you to Max. Thank you to David. Thank you to everybody at the Sanderson Ford family. Many more years of success. And St. Mary's looks forward to seeing you again next year for Operation Santa Claus. Thank you so much for what you do, not only for St. Mary's, but for everybody in the community.
To David, Kimberly, and the entire Sanderson Ford and Sanderson Lincoln family, happy 60th anniversary. You guys do it better than anybody else. Now, if you could just get Neil Schrock to come back to work, that would be awesome.
Have a wonderful 60th anniversary and many more. You guys are so wonderful and so patriotic. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
To everyone at Sanderson Ford, the Kimberly family, and everyone that makes Sanderson work, thank you for what you've done for the last 60 years, leading the entire nation in customer service and who you are. Here's to another 60. Thanks for everything.
Sanderson Ford is a point of pride for the city of Glendale, a family-owned business with the emphasis on doing business the old-fashioned way, with a handshake and a smile.
It's all about the Sanderson difference. If you're looking for a car, you owe it to yourself to come to Glendale and experience this firsthand. I'm J.R. Cardenas for Cox 7.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez. Thank you for watching Sanderson Ford, a family tradition for 60 years. We'll see you next time.